Welcome everybody to a look at a new Raro video release. So these in the UK are released via Radiance Films, and I've bought many from RaroVideo as far as the UK releases go. And yeah, this is another crime film from 1975 called Killer Cop. So this is directed by Luciano Ercoli. I've only seen Giallo films from him before, like Death Walks on High Heels and Death Walks at Midnight, both of which are actually fairly good. And like I said, this is a crime film clocking in at 95 or 97 minutes long, depending on which version you watch. And yeah, it stars Claudio Casanelli, who is also in the likes of The Suspicious Death of a Minor, Free Hand for a Tough Cop, and Blood and Diamonds. So a nice mix of crime and giallo there from him that I've seen so far. Also stars Arthur Kennedy, who I've seen in 16 other films. Now he's predominantly been in American films, as he's an American actor. But the favourites from him being the likes of The Man from Laramie, The Desperate Hours, Nevada Smith, and Champion. So yeah, wouldn't be the first time that we've had an American actor starring in one of these 70s crime films. So but it's nice to see him in this film. So, Police Inspector Matteo Rolandi witnesses a massacre in a hotel when a bomb explodes and kills several civilians. The prime suspect, a young political activist, is shot dead soon after, despite being under the protection of the general attorney. As Inspector Rolandi continues his investigation, he soon discovers a terrifying conspiracy behind the act of brutal terrorism. So, although there is plenty to like about this crime film, this is unfortunately somewhat undone by its lackluster conclusion, given the plot feels like it's really building towards something, but ultimately only ends on a piece of text to wrap things up quickly, which I can see why. Maybe production was just overrunning and budget was constrained, but if but I also can see the other flip side that it leaves it to a little bit ambiguous, so you can really just talk about it and present your interpretation of it. But for me personally, I just felt it was a little bit underwhelming in that regard. But that said, the title and posters are also somewhat misleading, as this is not an action-packed effort whatsoever. Certainly not in comparison to other crime films from Italy in the 70s. But that said, it is going for a far more atmospheric and effort, while also a bit focusing on the politics and police procedural aspects, which it does really rather well. It is also well paced, features effective tension, the cast is good, it is generally engrossing, the score is excellent, the cinematography is on point, and the bombing scene is highly effective. I can tell how they've done it, but it is an effective bombing scene considering no use of CGI, and I doubt this had the highest of budgets. So yeah, on the whole, a really rather good effort. 3.5 out of 5. Not my favourite crime film from Italy in the 70s. Not even my favourite crime film from RaroVideo from the 70s in Italy, but still a really rather solid effort throughout. So yeah, we have reversible sleeve artwork to go along with the red disc. Now, that's not to say when it comes to the film itself, in terms of action, that there isn't any. There's a really rather decent subway shootout between our lead and a hitman that doesn't speak at all. That's fairly good, but it's not like a film that is reliant on action whatsoever. So that's the reversible sleeve artwork, the original one, Italy, I believe. We also have a booklet, and inside we have shots from the film alongside credits. And the police have their hands tied, Luciani Occoli and Killer Cop by Barry Forshaw. So that takes up the entire booklet outside of a few shots from the film. So yeah, pretty decent booklet. And then on the disc itself, we've got a high definition digital transfer presented with both the original Italian and English audio options, both of which are available on Blu-ray for the first time in the UK. I believe the English version has a narration over it by Jack Lemmon, another American actor. So, again, not sure how they roped him into doing this, but yeah, I only watched the Italian version, so I didn't get the narration from him. I imagine that over explains certain elements of the film, and I think that's actually the longer version of the film as well, probably because that narration is in there. You've also got uncompressed mono PCM audio, new audio commentary by Eugenio Ercolani, sorry, got it eventually, and Troy Howarth. They got an interview with the production manager Alessandro Kalaski, which is cut in at 20 minutes long, a reversible sleeve artwork, which I've already shown you, based on original posters by Ezio Tarantelli. And you've got new and improved English subtitle translation and English SDH subtitles for English audio. So, yeah, overall a fairly solid release. Nothing spectacular in comparison to say other releases, but it keeps up the consistency from other Raro video releases. I do wish they'd probably go into doing maybe 4K releases or more limited edition releases because, yeah, they are putting out solid films. I just feel like the actual physical aspects, although perfectly functional and have some elements to them to provide extra insight into the film, I feel like they could go a little bit further, to be honest. But still, they aren't expensive, these releases, so it's about a compromise. Really, do you want to pay more and get a little bit extra, or do you want to pay a reasonable amount and still get a really good film and some extra insight into the film itself? And yeah, I do feel like they've struck a decent balance there. But every now and then I would like something that's a little bit more special. Nonetheless, though, if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.